Had a good weekend. Another segment, Sniper Sports. We're live from the 808. We shoot you straight. This is Joey. With me as always is Steven.
What's going on?
Just gonna chop up some games this past week, bro.
Let's talk about it.
There were some good ones, man, from college to NFL. But I kind of want to start it in the NFL. And man, this week I saw a great game between the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson, Burrow, just excellent play out of both quarterbacks. I think Burrow had like 5 touchdowns. Lamar had 4. Of course, he made a great play where he was getting pressure from the defensive end, scrambled, stiff-armed him, was forced to the side and just threw it back towards the middle of the field for a touchdown. Super athletic play. Derrick Henry. I mean, here's a guy we talked about, Steven. Dallas could have got him for next to nothing late last year in the season. They decided to pass on him, and Derrick Henry is leading the league in rushing. So, I mean, Baltimore's starting to come around. They're share the lead on that division with Pittsburgh at 3-2. But just a really good game. And to me, Baltimore right now looks like probably the best 3-2 team in the league.
Definitely. I think they're one of the top teams. You have to look at them, and, you know, they had a rough start, but...
Right. Lost a close game in the opener against KC.
Exactly, and lost to the Raiders. I think everyone has some questions, but for the past 3 weeks, they found out. They had a great game, I think, this week. I really thought it was a toss-up between Burrow and Lamar, but they came out with the victory, and they're looking like they're establishing themselves as a top of their division, and right now they're on the top, sharing it with the Steelers. So
they sure are.
They're looking
Zay
good.
Flowers look good. He got more touches
and
put up some numbers this week, so they are coming around, man. But this week I'm gonna be really excited for Baltimore because guess who they got? That red hot rookie, your Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
They are.
That's gonna be a nice game, man.
I think this is a real test for us, Joey, for, you know.
Absolutely it is.
For Daniels, and, like, I just like everything he's been doing. I know I don't give him, it seems like I don't like him because I don't give him enough credit or whatever, and I do. I think they're playing amazing.
Right.
I love everything what he's doing, his pocket presence. It's crazy to me, Joey, because he doesn't seem like he should be having this much rushing yards, this many rushing touchdowns. Because
or a higher completion percentage
but
as he is.
He's just been doing everything just so well and so great. He's really taken to the NFL, and it just seems that Cliff Kingsbury and, you know, Dan Quinn have really made this offense just seem easy. Even McLaurin is looking like rejuvenated, like he's, you know, trying to be that receiver that we wanted him to be.
Right.
You know, the defense is looking to be sharpening up a little bit this week after week. So I'm excited.
They're getting more rest now. They're getting more rest, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaden Daniels is leading that team down to get points every possession.
Exactly.
So, you know.
So I'm excited. This is a real test for us this week.
It is.
To really see where we're at. If we can come out with a victory, man,
that'll really say something. We will definitely have a segment. If Washington should be able to overcome Baltimore, it's in Baltimore now. That'll really be something else.
Absolutely.
But definitely a must-watch for all you football fans this week.
Definitely. We're talking about not only McDaniels, but, you know, all the rookies this week played well.
They did.
Denver looked like, wow, like they're a totally different team. They put up some great points. Caleb finally had a breakout game. I thought he's always been teetering on those breakout games, and he finally had one against the Panthers. So, hey, this is looking like a great league so far, especially for all the rookies. You know.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, #1 pick out of USC. This was his best game thus far. He did put up some numbers, made some nice plays, and that team's sitting at 3-2. That's an interesting division. I mean, you got Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, and of course, you know, the feel-good story of the year with the Minnesota Vikings, right? 5-0. I don't think anybody expected them to be 5-0.
What are your thoughts of them being 5-0? I have my thoughts. I shared them last week. I still stand by them. I question just them at the end of the game. Defensively and offensively, they seem to let up.
I'll start with the quarterback. Been watching Sam Darnold since he was, you know, his first year at USC. So for him to be having this much success and doing well, I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm happy for him, though. It's coming together. We always talked about they have a good offensive roster, and that's starting to come around, although I think Aaron Jones did get hurt this week, so that could change. But I'm very shocked that they're 5-0. But I'm still not ready to just put my stock into Minnesota. For some reason, Steven, just that's such a tough division. I don't have a lot of confidence saying that they're going to end up winning that division. I still think Detroit wins that division just based on experience, leadership, and their veterans. It's been a nice story. Minnesota's come out and winning these games, but they'll really show me something if they can continue to sustain this type of play and keep getting these W's.
I agree.
I still pick Detroit to win that division.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some booty teams, some booty players. Like if you want
Let's
to
do
talk
it.
about this,
Yeah.
I know you want to talk about one individual up there in New York. Let's go ahead.
I do. I'm sorry, New York fans, but he's got to get it, Steven. He's got to get it.
And we're not
He
talking
gets
about
the
Daniel
praise.
Jones.
He gets the praise when everything goes well. It's Aaron Rodgers. He has just simply not been playing well. I know he's 40 years old, coming off an Achilles injury, but now we're 5 weeks into the season, and they're sitting at 2-3. He didn't look good. This has been 2 weeks in a row now that he's failed to even complete 60% of his passes. A few weeks ago, Robert Saleh was getting a lot of the blame, but you know what? Robert Saleh, a defensive guy, a defensive-minded coach, he has that D playing pretty well. The defense is not embarrassing themselves. Last week against Denver, I think the final was 10-9, and they find a way to lose that game. So, I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers. You got to show me more. I know they're blitzing him a lot, and I mentioned since week 1 that this guy simply hasn't been as mobile. He's not as good throwing on the run anymore. He just looks a few steps, Father Time is undefeated, and he's not the same. The only reason I like to bring it up because when you're Aaron Rodgers, you see him in interviews, he just has this smug and arrogant presence, and like as you know what doesn't stink. And I'm just saying, hey man, you're human. You're 40 years old, and if you're as great as you say you are, it's time to show it. It's time to put that team on your back, and you don't even really need to put them on your back because you have so many good players on that squad. But he just hasn't been doing enough for me, Steven, and that's why New York is sitting at 2-3.
Can't really defend. Rodgers hasn't been playing well. I'm still thinking that the team needs to gel, but as of right now, I can't defend you, Rodgers. Usually I would, but can't defend you.
It's time to have a great game and turn this around because I'll tell you, they host.
I think a great game. I think the rest of the season, what you're saying, Joel. Let's not talk about a great game. Let's talk about the rest of the season because
a type of game that will inspire belief in this guy. Well, we'll see what he does, Steven. Monday night, they got the Buffalo Bills at home, so that's going to be a big enough test. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm telling you already because I just don't see it. I do see the regression with Rodgers, and he hasn't been there in New York long enough to really gel with this guy. So I like Buffalo in that game.
I got you. I like Buffalo as well.
Some other teams that aren't playing too good. And the Niners took a big loss this weekend against, division rival Cardinals.
You lost against Kyler Murray and all that.
Kyler Murray.
Where's all the Brock Purdy fans now? Where's everybody last year? I remember last year being Joey kind of got into it because he liked Brock, and not to take a rock against Brock. I think he's a great quarterback.
Here it comes.
I think you're seeing what he's really. I think it's just seeing what they're all capable of. I think it's you paid Debo all this money, you paid Ayuk all this money, you're paying all these people money, and where's the production now? I really don't see it out of Ayuk. I see him fighting more than really catching touchdowns. I think their defense looks very suspect. Bosa looks. I know he's been has a lot of injuries this year. I think their secondary looks like trash. They look confused.
They have not looked sharp. Yes,
exactly. At some points in the game they look great and they're scoring touchdowns, but altogether as a team, I just don't see them functioning very well, and I don't know what it is, but
well, they're definitely missing their key ingredient to that winning recipe, and that's Christian McCaffrey. Definitely. As Steven mentioned, you guys want to, he's the quarterback. Brock Purdy gets a lot of hype, but Christian McCaffrey, people, is what makes this thing go. But hey, his backup Jordan Mason is second in the league in rushing, which is even more indicative to. I don't know if you want to give Purdy some of the blame. The head coach has been mentioned is getting some of the blame. Like you said, the secondaries look like trash. The defense hasn't been getting the same pressure. I think they're missing Armstead up front. Just Bosa there now. So, hey, I don't know. But San Fran, is it too early to say they might have missed their window? What do you think, Niner fans? Did San Fran miss their window?
They did. It's been
time to worry a little bit. We're early October, but I'm a little worried if I'm a Niners
fan. Yeah, definitely. I think when they're not even talked about as I think they're not even top of their division. Definitely got worried
Not
about
to
it.
mention they still got teams like Baltimore and KC to play later this year. Not to mention some of their division rivals. So it's going to be an uphill battle for those boys in the Bay
Exactly.
going forward.
Talking about KC, he's undefeated. Won again tonight against the
Still
Saints.
undefeated.
Mahomes is just that dude. I know a lot of people out there maybe hate the Chiefs and hate that they win all the time and they get this special treatment because of Taylor Swift or because of Mahomes. But hey, man, I mean,
Let's call it what it is. They're just a well-prepared team. I think this is Andy Reid starting out 5-0 for I forget how many times, but the most out of any coach in the Super Bowl winning era. So he's got this team ready to play. As Steven mentioned, Mahomes, it doesn't matter who he's got there, as a receiver. It could be Tyreek Hill. It could be, who was the guy last year that dropped all the balls?
I don't even know.
What we're trying to say, people, is it don't matter. Mahomes is the guy. And they're doing all this, keep you in mind, with Pacheco out. They picked up Kareem Hunt. He used to play there a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's picking up right where he left off. He touched the ball 27 times a night, scored. Just brings more balance and consistency to that already great offense.
It does. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know we're going to see it on the news and how they got away with penalties and all this stuff, but
You got to be feeling good if you're a KC fan. You're sitting at 5-0. You're going into the bye week this week, and you get a chance to rest, heal the body, put your feet up, and shoot, 5-0. I mean, if you only win half your games, you're probably in the playoffs. So
yeah.
KC's looking strong.
They are.
That is the one team that isn't a fraud. Man, I think we pretty much chopped that up for this week.
So. I think that's all.
Yeah, but hey, tell us who you like or who you think is going to have a breakout season. Other team I want to give a quick shout out to is the Houston Texans. They won this week and gave a really good balanced game. The 808's own Kaimi Fairbairn hit a 59-yarder at the end of regulation to win that game. Like what they're doing in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems like they're clicking all the way around. Offense, defense, and now special teams.
I agree.
So chalk one up for the 808, baby.
Sounds good.
All right, Sniper Sports, we're out.
Until next time.